Today, we rank 10 new fantasy school anime where overpowered reincarnated protagonists dominate classrooms, break limits, and reshape magical worlds in unexpected ways, completely fast-paced. Kicking off our list at number 10, from overshadowed to overpowered, second reincarnation of a talentless sage. A once-dismissed sage dies after being labeled talentless, only to reincarnate in a magical academy world where knowledge and experience matter more than raw talent. Armed with memories from his past life, he enrolls again, determined to surpass gifted students, uncover hidden magic systems, and prove true power comes from understanding, not birth itself. This entry stands out for flipping the typical weak-to-strong formula into a knowledge-driven climb through layered academy politics and spell theory. I enjoy how it leans into strategy over brute force, making every confrontation feel like a mental chess match rather than simple magical overpowering. The academy setting maintains tension as rival students evolve and challenge the protagonist's understanding of power itself constantly. Moving down the rankings to number 9, Noble Reincarnation, Born Blessed, so I'll obtain ultimate power. A reincarnated prodigy is born into a noble family already blessed with overwhelming magical potential, but quickly realizes status alone cannot guarantee survival in a world where political intrigue and combat academies decide fate. He begins refining his innate abilities, navigating noble society while preparing to dominate elite magical education from the very start. This entry thrives on the contrast between overwhelming birthright power and the harsh reality of political and academic pressure within elite magical society. I like how it balances privilege with constant challenge, forcing the protagonist to actually earn recognition despite starting from a position most would consider unbeatable. The academy environment pushes constant growth while exposing cracks in noble privilege and expectation deeply. Breaking into our top 8 at number 8, Secrets of the Silent Witch. A shy but extraordinarily powerful witch hides her abilities after mastering silent casting, enrolling in a magical academy where she must protect her identity while handling dangerous missions and social expectations. Despite her fear of attention, she becomes entangled in conflicts that force her to rely on overwhelming hidden magic beyond what she imagined. This anime stands out for its quiet protagonist, who uses silence as both shield and weapon within a highly dangerous magical academy environment. I appreciate the tension created by her need to stay unnoticed while wielding power that could reshape everything around her if revealed. The balance between social anxiety and overwhelming magical strength makes her journey consistently compelling and unpredictable overall experience. Moving down to number 7, my status as an assassin obviously exceeds the hero's malus. A skilled assassin is transported into a fantasy world where heroes are celebrated, only to discover his hidden stats far exceed those of the chosen hero. Entering an elite academy, he conceals his identity while mastering new abilities, taking on covert missions, and quietly surpassing expectations set by the kingdom without drawing attention unnecessarily. This series plays with the classic overpowered hidden protagonist trope, turning an assassin into the most dangerous student in any structured magical institution. I find the contrast between his lethal training and academic life particularly engaging, especially when subtle decisions lead to overwhelming consequences. The academy backdrop amplifies tension as he navigates friendships, threats, and hidden power dynamics at every turn, carefully calculated. Moving further at number 6, Kunan the Sorcerer. Can see a young sorcerer born blind discovers an unconventional form of magic that allows him to perceive the world in ways others cannot, leading him into a prestigious academy where his unique abilities challenge traditional spellcasting systems. As he refines his perception-based magic, he begins redefining what sight truly means beyond ordinary human understanding itself. This concept focuses heavily on perception-based magic, turning a limitation into an entirely new form of strength that feels fresh within academy fantasy settings. I like how it reframes disability as adaptive power growth rather than weakness, giving the protagonist a unique strategic advantage in every confrontation. The academy challenges force constant adaptation, while redefining what perception and power truly mean overall impact. Breaking into number 5, The Water Magician. A young man reincarnates into a fantasy world where water magic is considered weak, yet he gradually discovers advanced applications that defy conventional expectations. Entering a magical academy, he trains relentlessly, experimenting with spells, survival techniques, and combat strategies, while slowly proving that underestimated elements can become overwhelming forces beyond all initial expectations again. This anime turns the weakest element trope into a detailed exploration of creativity and persistence within magical combat systems. I enjoy how the protagonist constantly experiments, turning simple water manipulation into complex offensive and defensive techniques that feel strategic and dynamic. The academy setting enhances progression pacing while highlighting how creativity can overcome elemental disadvantage in every battle scenario, presented very effectively portrayed. And sliding into number 4, Reincarnated as a Dragon Hatchling. A man dies and reincarnates as a dragon hatchling in a vast monster-filled world where survival depends on evolution, combat, and adaptation. Starting at the weakest stage, he slowly grows by defeating enemies, gaining abilities, and exploring dangerous territories, all while navigating a world that fears and hunts dragons through relentless evolution and struggle. This entry leans into monster evolution fantasy, showing a progression system that feels grounded in survival instincts and constant danger. I find the growth pacing satisfying as the protagonist transforms from vulnerable hatchling into a powerful entity through trial and adaptation. The world building emphasizes danger and progression, making every encounter feel meaningful, intense, and tied directly to survival growth. Very well executed. Breaking into the top 3 at number 3, Onmyo Kaiten Rebirth Verse. A student trapped in a repeating cycle of death and rebirth gains mastery over Onmyo-style spiritual combat, using knowledge from previous loops to survive increasingly deadly academy conflicts. Each reset allows him to refine tactics, uncover secrets, and push toward breaking the cycle that binds him to fate through relentless repetition and adaptation itself. This anime uses time loop mechanics to heighten tension, turning failure into a learning system that constantly upgrades the protagonist's combat instincts. I like how each iteration reveals new information and strategies, making repetition feel purposeful rather than repetitive in a negative sense. The academy backdrop combined with spiritual warfare creates a unique pacing structure that keeps stakes consistently high and engaging throughout. And now, number 2, a wild last boss appeared. A player suddenly awakens inside a game world as the feared final boss character, only to discover the world is real and filled with consequences beyond gameplay rules. Forced to navigate political factions and powerful adventurers, she must survive misunderstandings while redefining her role in a system that expects destruction at every single turn. This story subverts the typical hero narrative by placing the protagonist in the role of an overpowered antagonist figure, navigating a living game world. I enjoy the moral ambiguity and the tension that arises when others perceive her as a threat, despite her uncertain intentions. The world reacts dynamically to her presence, creating constant conflict, uncertainty, and strategic survival challenges through evolving systems. And finally, reigning supreme at number 1, Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You. A lonely office worker begins sharing quiet nightly conversations with a mysterious young woman who smokes behind a supermarket, forming an unexpected connection that gradually shifts both their perspectives on life. Set outside the usual school fantasy genre, the story focuses on emotional intimacy, routine escapes, and subtle personal change within quiet everyday settings. This entry stands apart from the rest of the list by focusing on grounded human connection, rather than supernatural power systems. I find the emotional pacing incredibly effective, as small everyday moments carry more weight than large-scale fantasy battles. The understated storytelling approach creates a refreshing contrast to power-heavy narratives, making it memorable through emotion and subtle realism. Very strong final impression. This countdown highlights how Reincarnation Fantasy School anime continues evolving, blending academy politics, hidden power systems, and emotional storytelling across diverse settings. Each entry offers a different angle on growth and identity, making the genre engaging for viewers who enjoy strategic progression and character-driven narratives.